on one very, very, very misadventure. I took a plane out one day, and the one that sort of sticks out, which gives me, it's kind of stayed with me all my life, is that I was commissioned to learn to fly in 30 days. So after I went to San Diego, I think it was, and, joined this flight school, started doing all these things. And on one very, very, very misadventure, I took a plane out one day. I think I got about 16 hours of flight experience, no maps, no navigation experience whatsoever. A thing called sea mist comes in off the Pacific, and all of a sudden you're up in the air, you look down, and there's just a blanket of white. And you're like, where am I? I have not got a clue. And there's me trying to go from A to B. I fly into, Top Gun. There's a thing called Miramar on Top Gun, where the Top Gun comes from. Their Air Force base. It's called Miramar. I flew accidentally into Miramar airspace in front of a whole bunch of helicopters, military helicopters were doing their thing. I don't think I'll ever shake the image of the pilot giving me the V's as I sort of tried to do an emergency something or other. Then I flew into a parachute drop zone that was live. And then the next thing, I think I flew accidentally into Mexico, and the radio burst into life with this sort of, who are you and what are you doing? I put on my best Biggles accents, blah, blah, blah. I'm just trying to get back to Brown Airfield. Could you help me? And they're like, yeah, go to this, that, and the other, do a Mayday thing, turn the channel over, and then they sort of guide you back. And I did get sort of guided back to an airfield, and I landed at this airfield. It wasn't the airfield where I was supposed to be. It was the wrong one. But I sort of thought, I know where my airfield is. It's over that ridge of mountains over there. So I sort of touched down, and there's lots of big, tall men in uniforms walking towards me, and I turned around and took off, and then tried to fly my way back, and then get lost again, and then have to do the same emergency routine, and ended up flying back and getting to my airfield where I was supposed to be. I got an enormous amount of trouble the next, huge amounts of trouble. And I failed my flight test first time, second time, and on the third time, I think he just had enough, and he was just like, yeah, you've passed. So I do technically have a pilot's license from back in the day.